Turn It Again.
Turn It Again is one of the, probably I think the only song on the album that the whole music is all a jam.
We definitely have had a few things, you know, where when we're jamming we can actually make it sound something like a song, and that was the case with that song. The verse and the chorus are about as different of two parts from each other as could be, but they were made up in the same jam, and Anthony was part of that jam, and he was doing some really inspiring screaming and yelling and stuff.
Yeah, he was getting very excited.
It definitely gives opportunity to John's recent willingness to express that side of his guitar playing.
Right.
You know, for so long he's been the less is more guy.
Yeah.
And he's wildly efficient and artistic with his less is more approach to guitar playing.
Yeah.
Like you can hear 10 times more than what he's actually playing.
Yeah.
Because of what he's playing.
Yeah.
But on this record, he decided that I'm just going to let it all hang out.
I'm just going to rock like a maniac.
You know, we have a whole 24-track machine just for my overdubs, and I think on that outro, I pretty much, you know, there's a lot of guitars, and they're all coming up and down in volume and moving around. That was one of the few things on the record that I actually mixed myself in terms of doing all the rides and stuff, because nobody but me would have been able to make sense of it, because it was just a lot of guitars all soloing and all being crazy, and it would have sounded like it was in disarray to anybody but me, but I organized it and stuff and made it sound like what it sounds like.
And it's a great groove.
It really is. But this was called the Talking Head song.
Yeah.
As a working title.
The reason it was called Talking Heads, my guitar part is definitely like inspired by Talking Heads. Like,
everything.
Those kind of quirky little things. And
the beats and the drums,
yeah,
too.
the beats and the bass line. His tone totally reminds me of Tina Weymouth's tone. Yeah, but it's more about the verse is like Talking Heads. The chorus isn't really anything like Talking Heads.
I remember at the birth of it that I picked up a bass that I never ever play. It's this new bass that like was in the rack that someone gave. I never ever play it. And I picked it up and just picked it up and said, what does this bass do? And I just picked it up, started going boom, 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 boom.
That's what that bass did.
Boom, 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 and everyone fell in.
Yeah.
Another thing where there's differences between two people that I like that we tried to do on this record that was part of my vision for it was that one person's staying in one place and the other person's moving. So like in the verses, Flea's playing boom bum bum boom bum bum boo doo 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 bum bum boom bum bum boo doo 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 bum bum. No chord changes, just a groove that stays in one place, what you call like a modal groove, and then I'm playing chord changes over that, and then in the chorus it's the opposite. I'm playing a riff that stays in one place, and Flea's playing chord changes, and it wasn't a conscious thing. Like I said, the song just came from raw inspiration, but it was something I noticed from listening to it afterwards, that he's staying in one place while I'm moving in the verse, and then I'm staying in one place while he's moving in the chorus, you know? And it's just those kind of little lessons of movement that to me like make music really fun to listen to, you know?